everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Corps studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got one that you're not gonna want to miss. We're gonna be talking about some hidden gems, some underrated commanders that most definitely deserve the spotlight. Let's jump into it. And let's start things off with me telling you that in the description below, there is a list of cards that I'm talking about in this episode in case you want to pick any of these up. And also, I do have some tactics around these too, so make sure you look those up as well. But now, we talk about Thalisse Reverent Medium, a commander that most definitely deserves more play, deserves the spotlight, currently rank 800 on the dot on EDH Rec, and 1,997 decks to its name. Come on, 3 more people up there, help. Come on, please. At least 3 people. Get to 2,000 decks. Deserves a lot more than that, though. A 3/4 Human Cleric for 5 mana in Orzhov. Beginning of each end step, create X 1/1 white sphere creature tokens with flying. For X the number of tokens you created this turn. Keep in mind, it does not specify what kinds of tokens. It doesn't say, oh, number of creature tokens you created this turn. No, it does not say that. What it does say is, hey, you know what? Make a bunch of evasive flying tokens. So even if you're making, say, low-to-the-ground creatures, you know, with something like a, a card that can make 5 tokens really quickly, increasing devotion for 5 mana. So you're making those human creature tokens, right? Cool, all right, I've got 5 humans. But I'd also like 5 spirits. Yeah, give me that evasion. I mean, it is something to say, you know, about the worth of a token when you get an evasive token or one that can be an extra blocker as well. But of course, by being able to double up the efficiency of your spells like this, that's pretty incredible. And of course, if you flash this back, my goodness, opponents, look out. Because if it's cast from a graveyard, you get 10 of those tokens instead, which means that you're making 20 tokens in total. Yeah, your opponents are in big trouble. And of course, speaking of big trouble, out of nowhere, a card like Secure the Waste can be amazing because, keep in mind, Thalisse does say at the beginning of each end step, not just your own, every single end step, which means with this one in particular, okay, yeah, right before your turn, cast this out of nowhere, make X 1/1 white soldier creature token. Sorry, I said soldier, warrior. Warrior, soldier, knight, they're all kind of the same thing-ish. All right. Please don't get at me in the comments below if you've got like a knight tribal deck. But anyways, being able to essentially make these out of nowhere, you're like, oh, okay, cool. By the way, it's doubled. It just basically doubles up that X value for you kind of for free in a way. Intangible Virtue cards like this can be amazing as well. Great anthems, especially ones that help tokens. Creature tokens you control get +1 and have vigilance. Great. Low the ground, efficient, effective. Now, instead of actually just making 1/1s, again, with whatever tokens you're making, and of course with the spirits, you get 2/2s, and they are vigilance. Oh my goodness, being able to swing whenever you want. Being able to keep them back for blockers as well. You can be super, super aggressive. Talrand, get jealous. I mean, in this scenario with the same size tokens and vigilance as well. You know what I mean? Endrixar, Master Breeder, of course, ones that can just give you an absurd amount of tokens as well throughout the game. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you get X 1/1 black throw creature tokens or X that spell's mana value. Whenever you control 7 or more thralls, you sacrifice this. Now, with that, we kind of want some ways maybe to, make sure that our population is where it should be of tokens when it comes to thralls. And of course, we can turn this into an aristocrat-style strategy. Cards like Bastion Remembrance are amazing. Enter should make a 1/1 human, but you also get a spirit with that. Good for you. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life, kind of like the Zulport Cutthroat type effect. So yeah, having the Blood Artist type effects in play, draining your opponents, making an absurd amount of tokens, sacrificing them, making even more next turn. Yeah, you can see where this is going. And of course, cards like Angelic Aberration. Yeah, that's a disgustingly amazing card. 4/4 Eldrazi Angel with the Void, flying and vigilance for 6 mana. Enters the battlefield. Sacrifice any number of creatures, each with base power with up to 1 or less. Create that many 4/4 Coast Eldrazi Angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance. Basically, replace all of your tokens with 4/4 flying vigilant angels that are also Eldrazi. Gross. But yeah, being able to essentially, again, make that amount of tokens, you're like, okay, I sacrifice all these tiny tokens. Let's say 10 of them. Okay, I make 10 4/4 flying vigilant angels. Oh, and by the way, on my end step, I also get now another, 10. So, good for me. Yeah, being able to just utilize this effect, this end step trigger in so many great ways. It is such an effective commander that can make so many tokens throughout the game. Again, I think commanders like this get slept on a bit because, like, it's uncommon. How good could it be? Very, very, very good. Have fun with it. Make sure you pick it up right now. Next up, let's move up a few spots. According to EDH Rec, 796 is the rank for Klauth, Unrivaled Ancient, 2011 deck, so just over that 2000 mark. Sorry, Thalisse. A 4/4 dragon for 7 mana in Gruul. Flying Haste. When it attacks, add X in any combination of colors where X the total power of attacking creatures. Spend mana only to cast spells. And until end of turn, you don't lose this mana of steps and phases. And so this is a commander that says, hey, you know what? Let's just get out there. Let's have a big army of big creatures, and let's attack, and let's get an absurd amount of mana. So that second main, well, I'm going to be doing some pretty crazy things. Now, you can only use it to cast spells, but come on, you've got some great, amazing spells. So do keep in mind, if you were planning around building around like a Hellkite Charger, it's not going to work in that fashion, okay? Again, whenever it attacks, you can pay 7 mana total. If you do, untap attacking creatures at the second phase. I see this in too many decks built around Klauth because they kind of like skip that part or aggravate assault. There are other ways to do it. Obviously, there are other ways. I mean, you could transfer mana in certain ways. You can, I mean, not with this really, but you can utilize other sources of attacking like a Savage Vent Maw, sure. Okay, but don't count on Klauth for this kind of like infinite combo in this manner, okay? That being said, count on big creatures like Goreclaw. I mean, Goreclaw is a 4-power creature, but Goreclaw loves big creatures, okay? And the rest of the deck does too. Creature spells you cast with power 4 or greater cost 2 less to cast. On top of that, whenever Goreclaw attacks, each creature controlled power 4 or greater gets +1 against trample till end of turn. So in both ways, this really helps your entire team. Goreclaw says, you know what? Hey, are you a big creature like my commander? Okay, cool. You cost 2 less. That's a lot. Again, your commander, instead of costing 7, now just costs 5, which is fantastic. And, of course, being able to reduce the cost of all your other creatures that you're going to be playing. And, yeah, once you get that big burst of mana on the second main, being able to play all of them, basically. And, of course, on attack, being able to pump your entire team by 1 might not seem like a lot, but it is, because now that's 1 extra mana per creature as well, so do keep that in mind. Plus, the trample, of course, helps get that damage through, which is absolutely massive. I love pointing this one out, though. Realm Seekers. Realm Seekers is such a cool card. It is, I believe, pretty slept on when it comes to just like, hey, a big power card, because it's always a giant power card. It's going to be the biggest creature on the table pretty much whenever you play it, for the most part. A 0/0 Elf Scout for 6 mana in green. And there's the X counters on it. Rex is total number of cards in all players' hands. Yeah, I mean, if, say, everyone's got, like, 4 or 5 cards in hand, it's going to be like a 20-power creature, and all of a sudden you attack with that, and you get 20 mana. Okay. By the way, also pay 2 and a green. You can get any, counter off of this. Essentially, go get any card in your deck that is a land. So yeah, go tutor up whatever land you want. If you got a Guy's Cradle, congratulations, good for you. Go get that. But yeah, being able to just go get any land is still very nice. But yeah, just having an absurdly powerful creature whenever you play it for an absurd amount of mana, have fun. One extra combat thing that does work though with a creature, Scourge of the Throne, flying dethrone at 5/5 for 6 mana. Whenever attacks the first time each turn, attacking the player with the most life or tie for the most life, untap all attacking creatures after this phase. They need to shorten that in some way. Like, I know, like, you need, like, the explanation. But, like, you could just be like, hey, extra combat. Okay, cool. All right, extra combat. All right, cool. Good. Everyone understands that. All right, extra combat, swing again, get even more mana. Speaking of which, Unnatural Growth. Yeah, gross. Amazing. Enchant for 5 mana and 1 green. I think I said that right, but normally that's what throws people off of, like, using this in a deck because, like, it's such a specific mana value, mana cost. That being said, hey, again, any combination of colors with your commander, too. So even if you're playing the second main, great. That being said, the next turn that you have it out, at the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. That's an absurd amount of extra power and toughness. That basically doubles up the amount of mana that you get, too, and how hard you are hitting, of course, turning your commander into a 3-shot KO, or even a 1-shot KO, potentially, like an Overwhelming Stampede. Sorcery for 5 mana in green. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain trample and get +X/+X for X the greatest power among creatures you control. Swing super hard with this. Like, literally just say, okay, entire team, what's my biggest creature? Everyone gets extra that. And all of a sudden, you are swinging for probably lethal, but if not, again, you get a lethal amount of mana to utilize thanks to your commander. So again, this is a commander that is so much fun. Just kind of get all the big stompy creatures out. Get all the big stompy creatures. Get doubling power effects. Swing again probably. Get so much mana. Yeah, you can't use it again for abilities. I'm sorry, Hellkite Charger fans out there who want to utilize that, but keep that in mind. Being able to utilize this, though, in a way where you're like, okay, cool, swing, play everything out of my hand, big power, have fun. Let's keep things rolling. Ironically, the next one I was going to bring up anyways, because it is rank 789 with 20,000. No, 2,041 decks. Sorry, Mr. Orfeo, you're not quite that popular. I love you, though. Mr. Orfeo might be one of my favorite decks I've ever built. I love Mr. Orfeo the Boulder. I call the deck Hotline Fling. If you haven't seen the episode on it, make sure you check it out. But yeah, it is one of the ones that I probably play almost once a night. It seems like I'm really almost always kind of going for it when it comes to playing Commander. It is just such a fun deck that can play at a variety of power levels too. A 2/4 Rhino Warrior for 4 mana in Jund. Whenever you attack, double target creature's power until end of turn. It is one that can surprise players. Again, it is an uncommon Commander. It's just 8 cents, and I think actually there's another version of it that's even cheaper than that. That being said, simply doubling up 1 creature's power until end of turn on any of your attacks is amazing. So yeah, you don't have to send your commander into a danger. You can send something else into danger, obviously, but being able to double up something's power is a very powerful thing. And again, there's a reason why the deck is called Hotline Fling, because I like Fling decks. They're fun. Fling is a card. It's an instant for 2 mana in red. This costs cast it. You sacrifice a creature. It deals damage. You sacrifice creature's power to target creature or player. So yeah, burninate a player's face by just chucking a creature at them. So yes, you can attack with creatures, which is great. But, yeah, you can just get direct damage through as well. And, yeah, the deck has a lot of fling effects. Or cards like, Essence Harvest, which doesn't require a sacrifice, which is lovely. Sorcery for 3 mana in black. Target player loses X life, right? And you gain X life for X the greatest power among creatures you control. Yeah, just basically drain someone for an absurd amount and then pad your life total for 1 extra mana than a fling. And you don't sacrifice the creature, though this is at sorcerer speed. Do keep that in mind. That being said, being able to take advantage of course, massive power creatures like Yargle and Multani, yes please. 18/6 Frog Spirit Elemental for 6 mana in Golgari. Yeah, 18 power, doubling that up to 36. That is nearly a one-shot KO on anyone if you can get it through. But of course, if you just fling it at someone, yeah, you're getting there essentially. And if they're at full life, now they're at 4. Congratulations, they're most likely just gone. Or like a Hamlet back to life. 6/6 Giant Warrior for 7 mana, but it's getting much larger than that. Whenever the creature enters the battlefield, you may put X counters on Hamlet back Goliath's power, X the creature's power. Here's a lore question, actually. Is everyone that's coming to play just living on this giant's back and that somehow makes it stronger? I'm confused. Anyways, whenever any creature comes into play, I mean, let's just say Yargle Multani can play after this, all of a sudden, yeah, now that has 24 power. And also keep in mind this counts your opponent's creatures as well. Yeah, it's going to get an absurd amount of power very, very, very quickly. And of course, with that, well, we can get Tuya Bearclaw out and say, hey, Tuya, you know what? Yeah, look to your friend over there. All right, they're doing great. You do even better now. 2/2 Human Warrior for 3 mana in Gruul. Whenever it attacks, it gets +X until end turn. X the greatest power among other creatures you control. Yeah, you got a big other creature. Congratulations, you're going to the moon. Being able to swing with this as well, and then double its own power, and then make it even larger. Have fun. Even a card like Wilderness Elemental, I've had this card be the problem for the table. Everyone is shaking in their boots when they see Wilderness Elemental. You never heard of it? Didn't think so. Star 3 Elemental for 3 mana in Gruul. Whenever this, is in play, its power is equal to the number of non-basic lands your opponents control, and it's got trample. If you're just in a commander game right now, or a little bit, keep track of just how many non-basic lands are in play throughout the game for your opponents, because it's going to be a good amount. Most people play too many non-basics, in my opinion, compared to the number of basics they play. And this thing can very easily have 10 power right when you put it down, and it's cost 3 mana. And again, you got other things that can take advantage of power. You don't even have to actually get through sometimes with this and the trample, which is lovely. You put it in danger, but you can just, again, double its power, fling it, all of a sudden opponent's gone. Disciple Bolus, another thing to consider is, well, sometimes sacrifices must be made on top of the, fling effects. But yeah, being able to go, okay, ETB with this, sacrifice that creature, gain X life, draw X cards, or X that creature's power. Thank you. I will now draw 18 cards, Yargle Multani, and gain 18 life. Lovely. That is such a good time. And you can just kind of dig down into your deck and get exactly what you need to win from there. And of course, yeah, Galt to Primal Hunger. There are also just giant creatures that cost basically nothing. A 12/12 that costs X less to cast for the amount of power you have essentially in play. Yeah, it's going to cost just 2 instead of 12. And it's got trample. So yeah, Mr. Orfeo the Boulder, again, one of my favorite commanders. I think it deserves so much more attention than it gets. It's so much fun. Go check out that episode again, Hotline Fling. Onward we go with Yisan the Wanderer Bard. For 3 mana in green, we've got a 2/3 human rogue bard that has 781 decks to its name, 2,078 decks in total. For 3 mana in total, you can tap and put a verse counter on Yisan the Wanderer Bard. I am playing a song, or a verse in a song. Anyways, search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to the number of verse counters on Yisan, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. Just drop in sick music with a lyre. Is that a lyre? I don't know. Anyways, being able to just play music and bring beasts into play is pretty cool. That being said, being able to utilize this to tutor out specific creatures and do some really crazy, amazing things. Yeah, you're in mono green, and there are certain players out there like, I don't want to play monocolor. This is a different kind of monocolor. This is a really, really, really spicy commander where, yeah, you can do some pretty crazy things that, like, green does, yes, have some creature tutors. Yes, it does. But, like, when it comes to a commander that's kind of built around that and utilizing different types of creatures, you can do some really crazy things with this. So being able to use things like, oh, I don't know, Query and Ranger. Turn a force you control back to its owner's hand, untap target creature, active only once each turn. Being able to just, I mean, okay, no, I get rid of a forest. Oh, darn, I've got now 10 force in play instead of 11 because I'm in green and I can ramp. All of a sudden, untapping your commander, again, at 1 mana, great. Again, this is kind of like the pod shade commander where you're going up the actual amount. There's also other ones at 2 as well, like, you know, like a Seeker of Skybreak. 2/1 elf, tap, untap target creature. Cool. Do so again. Extra activations from your commander can be absolutely incredible for you. Yeah, if you've got things like, oh, Hearthstone, and you can actually reduce that cost of your commander's activation, that can be quite nice as well. But yeah, make sure you got creatures again. And let's go up to another one. All right, here we go. Evolution Sage at 3. 3/2 elf druid for 3 mana. Whenever a land enters battlefield under control, proliferate. So again, get extra counters on things you want extra counters on, including your commander. So yeah, if you need to speed up that process, you definitely can. If you're like, okay, you know what? I kind of want to skip past like these tiny creatures and just go to the bigger creatures. So let's just get some more on there. I'm going to get lands into play. Or ironically, with a land, at a certain point, you may be like, oh, actually, you know what? I would like to reduce the amount of counters on my commander because I kind of want to stay around this number and be able to get creatures that are just massive out again and again and again. Pay 1, tap, move a counter from target permanent you control into another target permanent, activate on sorcery. It does tap for colors, does not go to play tapped or anything like that. So being able to just utilize this right away can be great at, again, mitigating your commander's excessive amount of counters at a certain point. You're like, you know what? Let's go back down so I can go back up. And then all of a sudden, I'm able to get out a giant creature again. Hyrax Tower Scout is another one you might want to consider. ETB's untap target creature. There are certain weird combos with this too, but that being said, being able to just go, okay, yeah, I kind of want to go from like 2 counters to 4 counters very quickly. Yeah, let's just go Hyrax Tower Scout on the next activation. Enters, untaps commander, activate again, going up to another 1. So you're kind of like skipping, essentially, in a way. But you also get like a 3/3, so why not? Or Great Oak Guardian, once you're at 6, you're like, okay, let's get a giant one that just pumps my entire team, untaps everything. 4/5 Tree Folk with Flash and Reach for 6 mana. Enters the battlefield. Creatures target player controls get +2/+2 until end turn. Untap them. It's also like Teamer, Sabertooth, Mana Dork combos with this too. So like, if you do want to turn this into a combo deck, you can, where you like tutor out certain things. Or you can just go like big dumb creatures like Nasty Terrasti. Let's go like, okay, Terrastodon, 9/9 Elephant for 8 mana in green. Enters the battlefield and may destroy up to 3 target non-creature permanents. For each permanent put in a graveyard this way, its controller creates a 3/3 green elephant creature token. Yeah, just, again, out of nowhere. It is not sorcery speed restricted. Just going, okay, Yisan, play that sick beat. That's not exactly how people say it. Anyways, yeah, strum that lyre, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, go, okay, yeah, you thought you had a plan, and all of a sudden I just dropped a 9/9 giant elephant on the table, destroyed a bunch of things. Cool. Yeah, Yisan the Wanderer Bard is a very unique commander. Again, being able to, like, tutor out in a slow-ish way, right? Like, in a thought-out, methodical-ish way. Creatures, yeah, and again, not even all that slow. If you can actually, you know, build the deck in a certain way where you're ramping properly, where you're untapping this properly, and being able to utilize its effects, have fun with it. It is so much fun. All right, buckle up for this next one. Merieke Berit. This is a commander that might be an oldie, but it's a goodie. This is a commander that is super brutal, and I just realized that there are like giant skulls in the background. Oh my goodness, I thought that was just like a rocky hill. No, they're like 2 giant skulls. Yeah, she's scary. A 1/1 human, question mark? I'm sure there's other parts to it, like maybe human wizard. I have no idea. It's been errata, I'm sure. For 3 mana, an Esper, and this is 772 ranked on EDH Rec, 2,106 decks to its name, should be a lot more than that. it doesn't untap during your untap step. Cool. Tap, gain control of target creature as long as you control Merieke Berit. When it leaves player, it becomes untapped, destroy that creature, it can't be regenerated. So this is one where, like, back in the day, it was like, all right, you're super committing to gaining control of that creature. Cool. And then, hey, this doesn't untap, though. So, yeah, you know what? It's kind of like a one-off effect, or like very few ways to untap. And then these days, you're like, well, you know what? I'm just going to gain control of your creature and then untap when I want it to, or have it leave play when I want it to. And then all of a sudden, we get rid of that creature, and if it can be regenerated, sorry, Silvos Rogue Elemental, you're one of my favorite cards of all time. Yeah, you're gone. You're just gone anyways. So there you go. Of course, we got plenty of ways to untap. Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Cards like this. Tap, untap a target permanent. It's a 1/3 human cleric for 3 mana. You can also cycle away if you need to untap a target permanent. So being able to have Merieke go, I gain control of that creature. It's mine now. Haha. You know what? Oh, wait, actually, there's a better creature in play now. So let's untap Merieke. Oh no, I destroyed your creature, sorry. Let's gain control of that other one. Yay, good for me. Yay! Or White Plume Adventurer. Enters the battlefield, you take the initiative. Cool! At the beginning of each month's upkeep, untap a creature you control. If you complete a dungeon, untap all creature control instead. Even if you haven't completed a dungeon, that's fine. Being able to just untap Merieke every single turn that you want to can be absolutely amazing. Go, okay, like, I destroy that creature, I destroy that creature, I destroy that creature, I keep that creature. It is basically like tap, destroy creature kind of a card at that point. With, the potential of keeping those creatures around when you want to, let's just say. Or you can just sacrifice them on your own with the Ever-Changing Dane. Pay 1, sacrifice another creature. The Ever-Changing Dane becomes a copy of the sacrificed creature, except it has this ability. Again, if you're going to be switching that creature out and you're like, you know what, this is a pretty good creature I'd like to keep around, but now there's an even better creature in play, so I'll sacrifice with the Ever-Changing Dane. It's now a copy of that, and then I will untap Merieke, and then I will gain control of something else too. So yeah, there is some flexibility to that. Or just have 2 Meriekes in play, basically. Robbery and Mercenaries. Vigilance has all activated abilities of all edge creatures you control. So yeah, being able to just activate that ability, again, with this is fantastic. And of course, keep in mind, though, that there is a slight difference to this one, where this one would untap during your untap step. So do keep that in mind. But still, yet another way to be like, okay, I take things out. Unbender Tine. When can you use Unbender Tine except for this in my Garth deck as well? If you haven't seen my Garth deck, it's so much fun. Go check it out. Artifact for 4 mana, though. In Azorius, tap, untap, and a target permanent. Again, just be able to go, okay, I'll untap that. Or maybe even having ways to, well, utilize some creatures that have other amazing tap effects, like Arcanus the Omnipotent. Another one of my favorite cards from my childhood. This, Silvos, I think, Rorik's Bladewing was in that. Oh, there was that lion dude. Oh, someone's going to yell at me in the comments below. And the Viscera the Dreadful. Okay, lion dude. Leonith? I have no idea. Anyways, 3/4 wizard for 6 mana in blue. Tap, draw 3 cards. You can also bounce it back to its owner's hand. Again, tap, draw 3 cards is insane. Just being able to go, okay, I tap, I draw 3 cards. And you know what? Instead of, like, untapping my commander to destroy a creature, you know what? Instead, I'm actually just going to go untap this, draw 3 cards. Thank you, Unbender Tine. Merieke Berit is such a great commander, an oldie but a goodie. Again, I never realized that there's skulls in the background. Am I the only one with that? Am I the only one that did not realize that there's just skulls? That's like a hill of skulls? Gross. Anyways, yeah, a very frightening commander, an old school commander, and again, one that players, again, because it's old school, players can just like undervalue it and actually just not think it's as scary as it is. It's super scary. Pick it up. Things are just heating up. Volcano, right? I mean, I guess there's like a volcano, or like just like split into the earth so far that now there's lava everywhere. Thromok the Insatiable, rank 767, 2,121 decks to its name. Very simple, very effective. 0/0 Hellion for 5 mana in Gruul. Devour X directs the number of creatures devoured this way. Devour is such an interesting mechanic because keyword, it doesn't see, we like never see it. We never really see it at all. And like regular Devour is just like okay, but like Devour X is like, oh my gosh, let me go get my Abacus. As this enters the battlefield, it may sacrifice any number of creatures. This creature enters the battlefield with X counters on it for each of those creatures. Basically, it's like, okay, 1x1, 2x2, 3x3, 4x4, 5x5, etc., etc., etc. Exponential growth, depending on like what are you sacrificing. The more you sacrifice, the much, much, much larger this gets. So go super wide, sacrifice a ton of things, and all of a sudden, your commander is a one-shot KO, even if it wasn't your commander. And what I mean by that is like, oh, okay, yeah, it has like 81 power. Yeah, I don't think it matters that it's commander damage. It's just going to wipe anyone off the board. And of course, you can do a fling strategy with this one too. But also, yeah, you can just go Footfall Crater. Okay, cool. hey, enchant land aura for a single mana, and cycle it away if you don't need it, though. This is a pretty solid card. I like it a lot. Enchanted land has tap, target creature gains trample and haste till end of turn. Yeah, just being able to go, okay, cool. Hey, Commander, you came down? Yes, I'm a giant hellion, but I'm sleepy. And then this goes, you're no longer sleepy. Okay, I'm no longer sleepy. I swing. And then trample over anyway. This is basically just, hey, do you want to take one opponent out when you play your commander? Cool. Do so. Or again, Soul's Fire again, kind of like the fling type effects, but this one just skips from sacrificing the creature to just straight up instant speed, 3 mana, deal damage based on the power to any target. You're not going to target a creature with this, most likely, or a planeswalker. You can target an opponent's face and take them out. Awakening Zone, plenty of great ways to make a lot of creatures throughout the game, and this one just says, you know what? Hey, on every single one of your upkeeps, you get a 0/1 spawn. Not an Eldrazi Scion. I am very sorry. Spawn. That being said, you don't really care about the power for these. You care about actually just getting a lot of creatures in play. And of course, if you need mana, you can get mana. Sacrifice those creatures, 4 colors each. Erasmus Web. Even your opponents can help you out. Cool, thank you. Whenever they cast an instant sorcery, you get a 1/2 spider with reach. Good for me. Being able to just make a lot of those. And actually, again, when your opponents are like, well, it's not that big of a deal. Again, Devour X, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden, you've got like 10 creatures like, oh my gosh, 100 power. Dragon Lair Spider. Hey, speaking of spiders, although this one makes insects. Weird. All right. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. Wizards, did you errata this? Did you errata this to spiders? I don't know. No, it's just kind of weird. Why? I guess you wouldn't errata it. Just like it just seems like a mistake. Why is this spider making insects? I don't know. Anyways, now whenever we're casting any spell, not just instant sorceries, you're making so many more tokens. Of course, while you're making these tokens, you can just ping things too with Warstorm Surge, which is nice, but also just kind of like a free auto damage effect for your commander when it comes into play. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under control, it deals damage equal to its power to our creature player. Yeah, again, when it's just like, okay, my commander ETBs, all right, it's got, I don't know, 49 power. Cool. All right, that player's gone. Goodbye. Yeah. Thromok the Insatiable is not difficult at all to turn into a one-shot KO in so many ways. Again, whether that's like on ETB with a Warstorm Surge, with a fling effect, with a hasty trampling effect. Yeah, or just like commander damage. Again, literally for commander damage, it takes so much effort for like many commanders out there to get to commander damage like one-shot KO potential. And this is like, oh, do I have 5 creatures in play? Yeah. Okay, I sacrifice those. All right, now it's a one-shot KO at 25. Cool, good for me. Have fun with this one. Make sure you check out my episode on it as well. Onward we go. The often forgotten type of card. I feel like the companions are kind of forgotten in Commander because, well, if you're not using them as companion, players are like, well, then I can't use them. It's like, no, you can definitely use them. They're amazing. Yorion Sky Nomad is so much fun and so powerful. 4/5 Bird Serpent for 5 mana Azorius, rank 765, 2,124 decks. That is a companion, but can't be used as a companion because the rules committee didn't like that. Maybe that rule will change. We'll see. Anyways, your starting deck contains at least 20 cards more than the minimum deck size. Come on! Somebody make an exception for this, please! I mean, like, it's not even that big of a deal. Just be like, hey, everyone, you know, you could play with 99, but instead, yeah, if you're playing this card, you can play with 120. Okay, maybe that's just like a specific edge case, or maybe I just want a Battle of the Wits deck. Battle of Wits, not Battle of the Wits. Anyways, being able to utilize something like that would be pretty cool. Outside of that, though, of course, as a commander, my goodness, just ignore that text. Who cares? 4/5 flyer enters the battlefield. Exile any number of other non-land permanents you own and control. Return those cards to the battlefield to be the next end step. So powerful. This is a blink effect that is a mass blink effect for, again, any non-land permanent you have on ETB. No cast trigger requirement for this, so you can very easily blink this. And there's things that just like combo with this and like blink again and again and again and again and again. And you just keep getting all of those ETBs. So good. So powerful. And Wizards, again, hey, Wizards, as a companion, it'd be pretty fun too. Just saying. That being said, again, this is one of those cards that, like, if it had less text on it, if it didn't have that companion part on it, I think it would see more play as a commander. Because some people are just like, that's a block of text. I can't use that. Okay, I'll skip it. Yet don't. Flicker Wisp, absolutely amazing with this commander. 3/1 elemental flying for 3 mana in white. Enters the battlefield, exile on a target permanent, return that card to the battlefield, under its control to be an next end step. Being able to go, okay, Yorion, blink everything, including Flicker Wisp. Okay, at the end step, everything comes back, including Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp comes into play, goes, okay, I blink Yorion until the next end step. Awesome. The next end step, it comes into play. and you see where this is going. It keeps happening again and again and again. Repeat mass blink. Have fun with that. Or just, consistent blinks as well. Soul Herder, these types of creatures as well can be great. A 1/1, whenever a creature is exiled from the battlefield, you get a counter on this, so this can become a quite hefty creature, which is quite nice. At the beginning of the end step, basically an exile as a creature control, bring it back. Basically blink, Conjurer's Closet essentially at the end step too. Stonehorn Dignitary, enters the battlefield, target opponent skips their next combat phase. Quite funny. A way to say, hey, you know what, opponent? No, you don't get to attack. Ha ha ha. So being able to just have this repeat on blink is so much fun. I mean, you can potentially shut down multiple players with a blink deck as well so they can't attack, but at the very least, you can just, politic with this and be like, okay, all right, this is coming into play. Its ETB is happening. Hey, everyone, are you attacking me on your turn? Yes. Are you going to? I want a deal. Make a deal right now. You are not allowed to attack me. If not, I'm shutting down your entire combat phase. Yeah, you're going to get some takers on that. Blessed Sanctuary. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under control, you make a 2/2 unicorn. Awesome. So now you get absurd amount of unicorns because you keep blinking your entire team again and again and again. And also, by the way, it also thrown on here. This little thing. Prevent all non-combat damage to be dealt to you and creatures you control. Hey, Blasphemous Act. No, not happening. Ha! Cloud Blazer enters the battlefield. You gain 2 life and draw 2 cards. Again, this, Mold Drifter, things like it. Hey, ETB, draw a bunch of cards. What's not to love about that? Peregrine Drake, combos, sure. Even outside of combos, though, yeah, with Yorion, it's like, okay, blink it. All of a sudden, ETB, untap 5 lands. Lovely. Being able to just get a free, burst of mana on your turns or on your opponent's turns as well for instance can be great. Revel Arc, when this leaves the battlefield, return to 2 target creature cards with power 2 or less in your grave to the battlefield. I mean, Peregrine Drake has 2 power. Cloud Blazer has 2 power. Stonehorn Dignitary has 1 power. Soul Herder has 1 power. Flicker Wisp, unfortunately, 3 power. That being said, a lot of the creatures I've already mentioned meet that requirement, and just by blinking this repeatedly, again, it leaves the battlefield. Does not have to be when it dies. You get to actually get this trigger again and again and again, getting more things back. How about They Came from the Pipes? A very good card with this commander. Enchantment for 5 mana. When it enters, manifest Dread twice. And again, on ETB, and of course, Yorion can blink this, so do keep that in mind. And Manifesting Dread means look at the top 2 cards of your library. One goes on the battlefield face down as a 2/2, and the other one in your graveyard. Turn it face up anytime for its mana cost. But you're never going to do that because all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, cool, Yorion. Blink those face down creatures. Now they turn back to face up when they come into play. Amazing. On top of that, whenever a face down creature control enters, draw a card. So basically, every single time you have this ETB, you get 2 creatures that you're about to blink and flip over again anyways. And of course, you draw 2 cards each time. Yeah, Yorion Sky Nomad can do some absolutely amazing things. And again, I think it's slept on literally because it has extra text on it and it's being punished for that. And the text doesn't even matter. And Wizards could make it matter at some point by maybe letting us use, the companions like this that are just, I guess, it's a very specific one. But a companion like this as companion because, yeah, it's cool. And it's not really that big of a deal to be like, hey, yeah, some players out there can use like a 120 card deck. Cool. Yeah, good for you. All right, have fun. And finally, at rank 760, 2,141 decks to its name. Okay, I'm trying not to screw this up. Here we go. Bane, Lord of Darkness. Okay, that was terrible. I was born in the dark. Okay, my Bane is getting so much worse. Oh, no. Anyways, hopefully you can practice your Bane. I was born. No, I can't do it. 5/2 God for 4 mana in Esper. Again, practice your Bane impression when you take this to the table because you're going to want that. Because everyone's going to absolutely love when you just do that throughout the entire game. Oh no, you've attacked me, Batman. That's terrible. Oh my gosh. Okay. As your life total is less than or equal to your... if your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total, now I'm thrown off. Bane, Lord of Darkness has Indestructible. So basically, hey, if things are dire, cool. All right, you're indestructible. You're hard to deal with. That's great. Or just like if you've got like a mischievous poltergeist or something like that, you can like set your life total down to 20 if this is going to be destroyed. You don't want to be destroyed. Good for you. Whenever the creature you control dies, target opponent may have you draw a card. If they don't, you may put a creature card with equal or lesser toughness in your hand on the battlefield. Now, most of the time, your opponents are probably going to be like, oh, draw a card because I'm scared of what you can do. That being said, yes, there are going to be times when they don't do that, where you get to cheat something to play, which is lovely. There's going to be times you can manipulate your creature's toughness so you can actually get something bigger to play than you would be able to. And of course, there's also certain times where you can politic with someone to allow you to get the creature into play. Even when that wouldn't be the normally best option for them, it can be if you're politicking with them because let's just go through a scenario, okay? Let's say you've got a Blood Artist in play, okay? A 0/1 Vampire for 2 mana, which ironically you can just always cheat and play with this if someone says yes, because it's got 0 power, right? Whenever it or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Okay, so it is targeted Drain Aristocrat style. Awesome. Viserys here. We have this in play too. A 1/1 Vampire Wizard, sacrifice a creature, scry 1. Yeah, an amazing sacrifice outlet. Probably the most played free sacrifice outlet, I would think. Anyways, for a single black mana, it's amazing. It's great. Now, here's the thing. Mortis Strider. This 3-cent card is super janky and amazing. A 1/1 skeleton for 3 mana in Dimir that you can't get rid of. I mean, you can, but not in this scenario. When it dies, you return to its owner's hand. So, hey, sacrifice this, it dies, and you're having it go back to your hand. You can stack the triggers however you need to. It's going to go back to your hand. Okay, cool. It goes back to your hand, and all of a sudden, you're like, okay, Bane says, hey, are you going to let me draw a card, or are you going to let me play something with equal or lesser toughness? And normally opponents would be like, well, I see what's going on here. You're going to get Mortis Strider back out again and again and again, keep sacrificing it, and Blood Artist everyone out. And this is where you say, no. I'm not going to Blood Artist you out because I'm letting you decide. I am saying, hey, you know what? That player over there is a giant problem. They're playing, I don't even know. They've got an absurd commander. They've got 1,000 life. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. They're in such a good position. They're in first place. Let me take them out for us. Like, literally, just all you need to do is say, okay, I can put my creature into play X number of times, again, each time, and just keep draining that player. So yeah, you can actually politic with Bane in a really weird way where you're like, hey, I know that you don't want me to do this to you. I won't be doing this to you. What I will be doing is just asking you if I can get Mortis Strider back into play again, so I can drain that player out. Yeah, that player is going to be upset at that other player. But you know what? That's politics, and that is Commander. And I'm sorry that you were in first place, and now you're not because this really weird Mortis Strider jankiness, okay? So there you go. Maybe you should have made the deal with me. Next time they'll know to make the deal with you. That being said, of course, the Aristocrat style strategy, you can get even more value of things like Grim Haruspex. When another non-token creature you control dies, draw a card. So yeah, outside of that combo, I mean, your opponent's probably going to be like, yeah, you get to drain that player and also draw 40 more cards? No. Castle, a really cool card to utilize with this one as well. Yeah, never heard of Castle, didn't think so. Enchant for 4 mana and white. Untap creatures you control +0/+2 when not attacking. You just a way to pump up that toughness a little bit to make it easier to get slightly larger creatures into play when you have that, that option. Taste of Karloff. Creature die causes a triggered ability by permanent control to trigger. Triggers an extra time. Also, creature tokens get Vigilance Lifelink just slapped on there for no reason, but sure, thanks. Yeah, being able to go, okay, double up death triggers. Thank you. Yeah, doubling up my commander's trigger. Thank you. Karmic Guide, a 2/2 Angel Spirit for 5 mana and white. Flying protection from black. Echo, but hey, ETB, bring back a creature from grave to the battlefield. Being able to go, okay, cool, bring this in play. It's very cheap, and then reanimate something as well. Yeah, Aristocrat style decks can do a lot of crazy things. But let's go back to that weird combo, because Worst Fears actually makes it so your opponents have no decision. I mean, the opponent that you're controlling has no decision. Sorcery for 8 mana in black. You control target player during that player's next turn. Exile. This Mindslaver can actually make it so that your Mortis Strider very weird combo actually, again, is unavoidable. When you're like, okay, hey, I gain control of you. All right, pass the turn. All right, it's your turn, but it's my turn. I control your turn. And on your turn, with my board, I sacrifice my Mortis Strider, draining whatever opponent. Cool. Not the player that I currently am controlling, because they need to stay until the end. So yeah, I drain whatever opponent. Bane triggers. I can put my Mortis Strider back into play again, because I'm making that decision. I'm having that opponent, which is me, basically, making that decision for them. So yeah, you can do some pretty crazy things with Worst Fears and Bane. It's so much fun. Anyways, Bane Lord of Darkness, again, is such a good commander, such a fun commander. And again, okay, all right, here we go. One more time. I was born in the darkness. Oh, that's terrible. I'm so off my Bane impression. All right, but you need to practice Bane so you can actually do it at the table. And it's just 8 cents. What a fun commander. Check it out. So again, make sure you're checking out the card list link in the description below for any of the cards you're interested in on this episode. Again, a lot of amazing gems, including Thalisse. Again, 22 cents for this amazing commander. Go pick it up. Go build a budget deck around it. It is so much fun. And of course, make sure you check out any episodes I have on these commanders. Like, my Mr. Orfeo Hotline Fling deck. Oh my gosh. Again, speaking of fun, one of my favorite decks to play. Merieke berit, pretty gross. Skulls in the background. Have fun with that one. Disgusting. Anyways, Yisan the Water Bard. Go tutor out some amazing creatures. Do some amazing plays with this one out of nowhere. Bane, Lord of Darkness. Okay, again, practice that first, but have fun with that. And again, use that Mortis Strider kind of politic funness. Have fun. Thromok the Insatiable. Always have the biggest commander out there no matter what, basically, and then chuck it at your opponents. Yorion, Wizards, please change something for Yorion so you can use it as a companion. I don't even know how you do that, but still. Anyways, Yorion Sky Nomad, so much fun as a commander, so powerful. Klauth, Unrivaled Ancient, so much mana, but yeah, you're getting that mana back and then some in a big way. Have fun. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. As always, comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.